Paul, thank you. Setting the stage as Jasmine Holmes and Mississippi State riding an 11-game win streak into their matchup against Tennessee, who has won 3 in a row. A tip-off coming up just about 15 minutes from now on ESPN. Over on ESPN2, Sydney Harvey and South Florida. It's been a down year with all the injuries for the Bulls. They take on a Houston team trying to stay in the top 4 in the American Conference. Again, that game coming up in just about 15 minutes on ESPN2. ACC action, number 2 Louisville holding a 1-game lead in the ACC, taking on Virginia Tech. Asia Durr launching for 3 to put Louisville up, and in the second coach, Durr just took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, and when she gets warmed up, when she gets rolling, Louisville's a different basketball team. She's so hard to stop off the bounce and from deep threes. You saw it today, put up big numbers.
This is a downhill offensive team. It's not just Durr. She's a big part of a backcourt that complements each other. They have excellent defensive effort as well. I personally have Louisville as #1 team in the country because I think their guard package is that good.
But again, Virginia Tech only down by 3 with under 30 seconds to go. Andy Landers, Deb Antonelli, John Brickley with you in the studio. Notre Dame almost put up a century in that game against Florida State. How impressed were you, Coach, for a Notre Dame team that had to have a bounce-back game after their loss Thursday against Miami?
You're right. They did need to come back after that loss, but you know, you're never surprised, not with this Notre Dame team. So good offensively. The pieces all fit. You know, you have a creator, explosive player on one wing. You have very efficient player in Young on the other wing, Mabry, who can service everybody, extend the defense, and then 260% inside shooters. The pieces are terrific today. They all came together.
I don't know how you slow them down once they get rolling because their balance, their spacing, their ability to score from 5 positions, their depth is starting to get a little bit better. Prohaska came off the bench today and added to what they do offensively. This is a team that is really exciting to watch, and they are hard to knock out because of their offense.
And the playmaker, once again, Arike Agumbawale, 27 points, a rebound shy of a double-double, as she is standing by with Paul and Kara.
Yeah, thank you very much. Back in South Bend, and the aforementioned Arike Agumbawale, along with Kara Lawson and Paul Sunderland. And magnificent afternoon, a convincing win over a very, very good team. But talk about the last 24, 48 hours after the loss at Miami and how that prepared your team to come out and play so well today.
I think we really just have to talk about what legacy we want to have. I mean, we have about 5 seniors, and we've been playing really bad, and this is not how we want to go on our senior year. So we definitely have to come together and really think about what this team wanted to do for the rest of the season and, you know, do that.
You talk about it as a team, but you as an individual, one of the leaders, one of the best players in the country, coming into this game, what were you trying to do to help bring a little bit more to the team?
I've definitely been struggling offensively and just in general, and I definitely had to bring more leadership and just intensity to the game. I feel like I've been really laid back, so I had to be aggressive from the tip, and that's what I tried to do.
Pretty close game after 1 quarter. Akai Gillespie kept Florida State in it, but then you took complete control of this game in the second quarter, and then it continued. Were you feeling it coming into today? Because you took a couple of pretty tough long-range threes, and again, the assists, Kara talked about it. You're just dishing the ball so well this year.
Yeah, definitely. I just tried to focus on that. I got in the gym a lot after the loss and, you know, just tried to get a lot of shots up. And, you know, I got in the gym early this morning, too, to get some shots up. So I definitely was feeling it today.
That's the one I was talking about.
Tough shot. That was a tough shot, man. That was good. You know, one of the things I noticed about you early this year is I think your vision is better. I think you're seeing the floor better. I think your ability to deliver on-target passes is improved. How do you get better at something like that?
I mean, I think it just really comes with the defense because I'm bringing a lot of attention. You know, last year I got attention, but this year I'm getting a lot of attention, and I need to be aware that if somebody's coming to help or if there's 2 people on me, that means there's somebody open. So, and my teammates are getting in the right spot, so I'm definitely trying to find them.
You talked previously about the meeting that you had and what the legacy you wanted. How do you leave? How do you build off of a performance like this, which was obviously solid?
Yeah, we definitely still have to look at the little things like our start. We were too close in the game. We were letting them get easy and comfortable. So we definitely have to make teams uncomfortable. And I think we need to work on that for next game. But just build off of this and just try to keep this momentum going.
Congratulations, Arike.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Fabulous afternoon and a big win over Florida State. Commanding performance by the Fighting Irish here at home. Let's send it back to the studio.
And, Paul, the storyline for Notre Dame was their offense, Deb. They shot 53% in this game. Their transition game may be the best in the country.
I mean, they can flat out score. They fill it up. We talked about how hard they run the lanes. When they run the lanes like that, Andy, it's really hard to guard them because they're committed to passing and advanced passing. This is not a Notre Dame team that always dribbles through pressure.
And you have 3 guards that can rebound. When guards rebound and can immediately turn it up the floor, begin the break with a bounce, advance it with a long pass, that's good. But you also have the best outlet passer in women's basketball in Jessica Shepard, who grabs that ball off the glass like no other, turns, and can outlet, 40 feet.
Good bounce-back win for Notre Dame. 4th time they beat a ranked team of more than 20 points. Big win for the Irish here this afternoon. In the SEC, Georgia matching up with Florida in the first. Taja Cole coming up with the jumper. This is a Georgia team, coach, that has lost 4 of 5 since that win against Tennessee.
Yeah, needed a win, and in the rivalry game, you got to get that win.
In the second, Kyle Robinson, she had 15 and 7 in the first half alone.
When she plays with a high motor, she can impact the game on both ends of the floor. I was at their practice yesterday. They were spending time on offense. Looks like it paid off for Joni.
Lady Bulldogs up by 20 at the break, 3rd quarter. Gabby Connolly takes it down, finds Caitlin Hose for the 3. Georgia almost putting up 100 on Florida, up 93-52 on the Gators. Still to come, what to watch for in the 4 o'clock hour on ESPN2. Number 3, Oregon. Number 11, Stanford, a rematch of last year's Pac-12 tournament title game. Ducks holding a 2-game lead on the Cardinal in the Pac-12 standings in their only meeting of the season. Deb and Andy, break it down for me.
Okay, today, all about offense, Oregon and Stanford.
Oh, you're a happy girl.
I am happy. You take a look at Oregon, here's a couple of things that you have to keep your eye on about them. Great offensive balance, 5 players on the floor that can score, great spacing and detail with their execution, and then Sabrina Ionescu is one of the best playmakers in the entire country. When you take a look at this fundamental set for Oregon, this is what they like to run. Shooters in the corner, okay? And then Hebert with a screening action. Ruthie does a great job of setting up Sabrina Ionescu to get to downhill, attacking her defender. Ionescu, terrific with her left hand, does a great job, but she's also effective when she doesn't have the ball in her hands. They can run some sets for her offensively. Down screen here, right into a ball screen here. Watch how this action works. And keep an eye on Hebert because she's the player that's going to rescreen here. She's going to rescreen for Carzola to come off of this, and then she's going to rescreen again for Ionescu. This is a terrific piece of execution by Oregon to allow Ionescu to get a wide-open 3.
Took
a
three
lot of
screens.
weapons.
Took three screens by Hebert, but they got it.
A lot of weapons to deal with.
Yeah, I like Stanford. Stanford's a great offensive basketball team. Score a lot of points in transition, but when they get in the half court, their scheme, their ability on the offensive end of the floor to execute and read defense, I think, is second to none. Make no mistake about it. What they would like to do is get the ball into the high post or the pinch area. The guard determines where this offense is going. Once that ball goes to the high post or the pinch area around the elbow, her action dictates everything. Should she go away, it's probably going to be a ball screen. Should she come to the ball side of the floor, it's probably going to be an exchange. She has the option of cutting back door. If she does that, there's going to be screens from the outside. But when that ball is in the high post, very important to note, Stanford keeps this area of the floor open. They want to do that so they can drive the ball to the basket so that they can send cutters. What they could do right here, flash blast wings into the post area for quick post-ups against smaller defenders. They may do that. What has happened on this play, that point guard has decided to go to the ball side of the floor. This is what makes Stanford so very dangerous. Not just the offense that they're running, but the players who are running it. She's going to cut up, and as she does, this defender is going to cheat. Watch what happens next. Back cut. She read the defender. She's cutting to the basket. That will inspire a pass followed by a ball screen. Stanford players, again, very smart, recognize the switch, going to post the smaller guard. Now watch Smith go to work. Freeze the double team, play away from it. She has the advantage on the smaller guard. Stanford, very difficult to guard in the half court.
Two of the best offensive teams in the country battle today.
And Deb, Oregon will still be a #1 seed even with a loss to Stanford. That according to our bracketologist, Charlie Cream. Rennia Davis and Tennessee back to finding their winning ways on a 3-game win streak. Can they pull off the upset this afternoon in Starkville, taking on Mississippi State? That's coming up on ESPN. And South Florida, based on all the injuries, can they overcome that challenge? Taking on Houston, coming up next on ESPN2 as we step aside. Be back in a moment. Back with you in the studio Monday. The first reveal of the top 16 seeds will be unveiled Monday night with their loss to Miami on Thursday. Notre Dame is down to a 2 seed in Charlie Cream's latest bracketology. That means that UConn once again finds itself in a 1 seed position ahead of their big non-conference matchup with South Carolina coming up Monday night. Deb, we talked about this prior to the break. What does it say about the depth that we're seeing in women's college basketball, where the team that won the national championship last year and the team that was a Final Four participant are both on the 2 line?
We use that parity word, and I think sometimes it sounds like a cliche, but we truly have it this year. Any of 6 or 7 teams could be 1 seeds right now. We just don't know who those could be. However, the seeding and the issues that we have in our tournament, I'm not sure we're ready for the kind of parity based on the geography of where the regionals are.
Yeah, you would look at this and you would think this is a year that a lot of people had hoped would come. You know, it isn't a year where one team has dominated the regular season. I think the championship is fair game. When I look at the 1 seeds, there's only one team on the 1 line that I think is safe. That's Baylor.
Interesting enough, we'll also see Oregon coming up on ESPN2 against Stanford. Meanwhile, still to come here on ESPN, moments away, Tierra McCowan and Mississippi State riding that 11-game win streak into their matchup against Tennessee, who has won 3 in a row. Now, again, according to Charlie Cream, Tennessee can stay in the field even with a loss to Mississippi State, but it can't be a blowout here. Give me a sense, though, Deb, how difficult is it to play in Starkville?
The hump, I mean, they've won 31 in a row there. The last time anyone went in there and beat them, though, was Tennessee. This is a challenging place, and you got to guard Tierra McCowan.
Yeah, let me correct him. It can be a blowout here. It absolutely can. This is a very good Mississippi State basketball team. But, you know, Tennessee has a lot on the line. In order to secure their spot in the NCAA tournament, this is the kind of game Tennessee needs to win. This can move them up.
Good showdown coming up in the SEC. Tennessee on the road taking on Mississippi State. Roy Philpott and my girl, Brooke Weisbrod, standing by with the call.